Hello, crafts and curls. Today we're going to make some really cute crochet earrings. You need scissors, an embroidery needle or yarn needle, embroidery floss of your color, your choice of color, and beads of your choice as well. You will get 2 earrings out of 1 pack of the embroidery floss. So we're going to do both at the same time. So you want to pull out 1 string of about 13 or 14 inches and cut it off from the floss, and just pull out another string. So we're doing both sides. So you want to pull out 2 strings of about 13 or 14 inches. And then you want to pull out 2 strings of about 6 inches. And you can pull out a 12-inch piece and cut it in half. This second piece right here doesn't have to be long. It's just enough so that we can tie around each earring itself. So the small piece of yarn, you want to take it and tie it around each end of your embroidery floss, leaving about an inch or so from the top. You can see in the picture the size. If you stick your finger through the hole, that will be a good size for the hoop in your earring. So you want to tie this around a couple of times and pull it pretty tight on the knot. And you want to do the same thing on the other side. And tie a knot around this end as well. And then after that, you want to go ahead and snip off the edges of that knot. Careful not to cut the knot. So then you'll be able to just fold your piece in half so that you can cut it directly in half for your earrings. And even if your sides aren't equal, that's okay, because we will be adjusting these later on. So you can pull off the paper if you haven't already, so that we can adjust each earring and add our beads. So you want to adjust it. After you adjust it, you can pull out any stray strands that don't fit all the way around in the loop. So then you can just set one aside so that we can work on the other one. So with a long piece of thread that you've cut off, you want to work with one, set one on the side, and we're working with one. So you want to tie a double knot on the end of one side, 1 knot and 2 knots, making sure that they are very close to each other. And then with the other end, you want to thread your yarn needle. I like to fold my piece in half and pinch it, and that helps me to get it through the eye of the needle a bit easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew beads all around the loop of this earring. So first thing you want to do is stick your yarn needle inside of the hoop, and you want to take the other end of your needle and you want to stick it through the knot that's on the other end of that yarn. So you want to stick it actually through the bottom of the yarn, underneath the knot, and then you want to pull it tight. This is a small piece, so it can be a bit fiddly. So definitely come with a bit of patience and a bit of um, just patience to get through this. So pull it tight, and you'll want to maybe put your finger in the hole just to kind of keep the hole and all the strands together. So you want to go ahead and pick up your first bead after that and pull it all the way down to the bottom of your piece close to the earring, and then you're going to stick your needle through the hoop, careful not to touch any threads. And then you want to take the piece of the yarn that's close to the bead and wrap it around from left to right, and then pull your needle all the way through. And this creates a loop around the bunch of threads, and it makes a loop close to the bead. So go ahead and pick up another bead. We're just going to keep doing this all the way around. Pick up another bead and slide it all the way down to your earring, close to the earring. And then you want to stick your needle through the hole, careful not to pick up any strands. Wrap the yarn around from left to right, and then pull it tight. And you want to make sure that each time you wrap it around, it's very close to the first loop, or to the previous loop that you made. And if it gets a bit wonky, you may have to stop and you may have to adjust it just to make sure that all of your loops are together and in place. So take your time, maybe lay it down so that you can clearly see what's going on, and pick up another bead, slide it down, wrap it around from left to right, and then pull your yarn tight, adjusting as you go. So we're going to pick up another bead, slide it down the string, put your needle through the hole from front to back and just hold it there, and then wrap your yarn around from left to right, holding the yarn under your thumb and then pulling it just to kind of keep it in place so that it doesn't go all over the place. You want to make sure that the yarn wraps closely to the previous bead. See how it's all in order and evenly spaced? You want to make sure that it's evenly spaced as well. So pick up another bead, push it all the way down, put your needle through the hole and hold it there. Wrap your yarn from left to right, hold your yarn with one hand and pull the needle with the other hand. And as you're holding the yarn with one hand, it kind of keeps it in place so that it doesn't go too wonky. And we're going to repeat this process. So once you get to the very last bead, you want to go around to the back, turn your project over to the back, and you want to slide your needle underneath the first knot that we had a couple of times. And you want to create a couple of knots here just to secure it in place. So after you create a couple of knots, we're going to then weave it all the way around through the hoops that we've created. I'm creating one more knot. When you create those knots, you stick it under the yarn and wrap the yarn over the needle, similar to how we did as we were adding the beads. So now you want to weave this all the way around, starting at the bottom, going underneath each of those loops that we've added. So you're just weaving this a little bit at a time, just to make sure that you get underneath each one of those loops. And as you're weaving it at the bottom, you're going to come out where the tassels hang, and then you're able to cut your thread right where those tassels meet. And then you can reposition it. You can reposition your beads. You'll be able to comb your tassels at the bottom, and just kind of make sure everything is straight. And then you want to cut off any frayed edges or straight edges that are hanging down from those knots that we created, and just kind of clean it up. And you can take a comb, and you can small tooth comb, and comb through this piece on the bottom just to ensure that it's straight. You can get some fabric fusion to rub on the bottom as well, just to make sure that they kind of stay in place. And so now we're going to work on the other piece. Awesome. You've just created two adorable beaded embroidered crochet earrings. And you can do these in any color, any beads that you like. Great job.